It's time now to review your thoughts on these major issues. Kayode joins me now for that review. Hello again, Kayode.
Hi, Bukola. We're starting off with money this morning, and I think majority of Nigerians, people generally love any talk about money, but this is about the minimum wage, and the federal government has come out to reiterate that private employers paying below 70,000 naira risk jail. Backstory. Now, the spokesperson for the ministry says this is law, right? And if you break the law, you are going to hear the music of sorts. That's just paraphrasing what he said. So what are Nigerians saying about this, particularly because this is a very tricky time and people need all of the money they can get, but businesses are also going through a lot. So the first user, the Wealth Arena, and I think this is just right that we start with someone who has wealth in his username, says rather than threaten imprisonment, the federal government should provide financial assistance or tax incentives to small businesses and startups, and also allow for gradual implementation to allow businesses adjust. The user says this will strike a balance between protecting workers' rights and promoting economic sustainability.
Sounds like sound counsel from someone who knows about financing. But this next one is from Avocado, who says this 70K is not realistic in every private sector. Some SMEs can't afford to keep up with that amount. Some of them don't even have a monthly turnover of that 70K to start with.
So the law says that if you employ below 25 people, then you don't need to pay a 70,000 naira minimum wage or a minimum wage in general. That particular bit, I don't think it was amended. It wasn't amended in the new Minimum Wage Act. So that still remains. If you're employing below 25, and I imagine that's for the small businesses then and medium, you shouldn't, or you don't have to pay minimum wage. Doesn't mean you should now
you're
pay.
Still in the clear.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you should now pay a slave wage. If I can pay above that, right? I mean, it's just a minimum wage. So
well, depending on what your turnover is, but Kayode, we must reckon current realities. You know, specifically talking about the increase in the pump price of petrol from 560 or 80 naira, as the case may be in NNPC filling stations, to 865 and then 950.
Or 1,000 plus really, in other places.
Yeah, in other places. That's really challenging, even for major employers. Yes. How much more those who are in the real sector? So
it's a very interesting debate. Workers want more. Employers say, well, we don't have a lot more to give. So something has to give clearly. And people are saying government should come in. This next user, Chris Ejiofor, is questioning the federal government, saying, are you even paying the minimum wage just yet? So if you are a civil servant or you work for the federal government or you know someone who works for the federal government, let us know, have you gotten your 70,000 naira minimum wage? Don't forget, it takes effect from May. So that's going to be May, June,
July, August, September.
I'm sorry I'm doing this. I'm not counting your money for you. But let us know if you've gotten that consequential increase. But that's what
and let us know if you're in other states as well, if the state governors have begun implementing the new minimum wage.
Very important.
Yeah, very important.
So it's not just federal, states as well. But this user focuses on the federal government.
Yeah.
Next one, Bukola.
Next one is from Safety Cabal, who says the permanent secretary should first start to arrest all government agencies. I knew this was coming. I knew it was somewhere there, including state governments, agencies who are paying less than 70K, when you can now enforce it at the private sector's level.
So those in support say aye. Okay. The ones who
did somebody say aye on their behalf here?
So let's move on to another conversation, and this concerns flooding. Not in Borno State, not in Kaduna. This one is in Kwara, a community in Kwara State, displacing residents and destroying property. So let's just show you what played out in that community in Kwara, so you get a sense of just what flooding can do. And I mean, no state, no community is exempt from that one. So there you go. From Borno State. This could actually be Borno State, but we understand that this is touching other states, and NISA has given an alert to other states that they will also be experiencing some sort of water release. Ugo has a first comment saying, my condolences to them. the government should try to allocate money distributed by other states due to flooding to the appropriate persons and not embezzle them.
Stark reality there. And we also commiserate with the victims there. And this next one is from former Showboy, who says, the same way Maiduguri, Borno State received massive funding, let it be reciprocated in Kwara State.
There you go.
Hope that people will go to their spirited Nigerians will come to their rescue as well.
So time is of the essence. Everybody has to be on guard on this one. But let's turn our attention to another matter. Still in Kwara State, there's a video of a taxi driver who was lamenting, really saying that he earns 20,000 naira daily, but when he buys petrol, he spends 17,000 naira. So give or take, that's just 3,000 naira left for him to take home. So is that take home taking him home? So a lot of people came together or came on this topic to just speak about their own situation as well. And Jasper Aniet has a first comment saying that this is happening to millions of households in Nigeria. But he's able to talk to the media for this. There are plenty who cannot come out because they've been long forgotten. So this user essentially spreads it abroad.
Oh, a sad one there. Then this next one is from, I believe, Humphrey or Bajiri, who says, this is really unfortunate. The things are actually avoidable, but here we allow it to happen, and the next thing is to share rice.
Alrighty. So while that is ongoing, we come to Lagos. Lagos government has taken some decisive action over that Idera market in Oshodi by sealing that popular market. And a lot of people are saying, well, I think the government did right on this one. And I think markets are a major part of our economic reality. So there's always that dilemma. Do we shut it down and then shut people's livelihoods, or should we seal it and then ensure that the right things are done? But Lagos State government has taken the hard decision on this one. I do hope that we can also look into people who are always dragging you when you go to market. Come to my shop. Man, woman, they drag you, and it's harassment, particularly for women. So I think it's something we must look into as well. So Lagos State government, kudos, but let's look into that one. This user, Manik, there you see the ceiling of the Idera market. But Manik says they've certainly broken regulations. When you go to these markets, you would wish you had the power to shut them down for a while so they can clean up. It's always a mess.
This next one is from, okay, we're totally out of time now, but we get your comments. Those of you who commented on other issues, including gunshots reported as EFCC officials attempted to arrest ex-Kogi governor, Mr. Yahya Bello. Perhaps we'll get the time to respond to cover all of your comments later on the program. But thank you for sharing them. And right about now, we'll start with the very first leg of our conversation, which will be focusing on your health. Stay with us. We'll be right back.